Kim Tae-hyung, an ordinary college student. I accidentally bumped my shoulder against an old man in an alley. I find a necklace left on the spot where the old man left. Tae-hyung went looking for an old man to return the necklace. Learn the identity of the old man and the secret of his necklace. The necklace is the only token of the mafia boss, and the old man was the boss of the organization. After having a necklace, the ordinary Tae-hyung's routine turns into a boss's life leading the mafia organization. Indeed, can Tae-hyung lead the organization safely? The true descendant of an exciting and unpredictable orthodox Nyouri. I'm innocent. Please explain about the movie you starred in first. This is the story of Kim Tae-hyung, a college student who suddenly became a mafia boss. In fact, he's a friend who enjoys a normal college life in his early 20s, and one day he accidentally bumps his shoulder against an old man on the street. He picked up the old man's documents and items that fell on the floor as he bumped into them. And there's one thing that my grandfather couldn't carry. It's a necklace, and Tae-hyung keeps looking for him to return it to his grandfather. In fact, this grandfather is the mafia boss. However, knowing that he was ill and couldn't live long, he was quickly looking for a successor, and he thought, yes, he would take good care of our children. So he chose Tae-hyung as his successor. As much as I happen to be the boss of the mafia, my grandfather believed that the necklace was going to the man who would be the mafia boss, and when he saw it go to the boy, he thought, it's not a coincidence, so he handed over the mafia boss replacement to this ordinary college student Tae-hyung in his early 20s. The sudden appearance of Tae-hyung makes mafia members jealous of Tae-hyung and constantly argue. However, John Lee-myung, the right-hand man of the mafia boss, thinks there must be a reason why he chose Tae-hyung as his successor and teaches Tae-hyung a lot of martial arts knowledge, etc. Tae-hyung, an ordinary college student in his early 20s, continues to refuse because he knows his life as a mafia will be difficult. But eventually he becomes a mafia, and there is one reason why he has to. Tae-hyung's grandfather was the former mafia boss. After hearing the letter and will left by his grandfather, who was a former mafia boss, from his father, Tae-hyung, who was moved, finally chose his path as a mafia, saying, this is inevitable. In the meantime, Tae-hyung goes to school sincerely. One day, bad students with a fluk temperament hit Tae-hyung's shoulder at school. Bad friends try to fool Tae-hyung, but he's been given special training by the mafia, so he throws them all down, without hitting a single one of them, but it's also a fatal drawback for a mafia. Anyway, so the current mafia boss and his right arm are in the final battle of revenge against their eternal rival, Mafia, who won after a long battle, but eventually the mafia boss dies. As a result, Tae-hyung becomes the mafia boss. Of course, the right arm is in command, but now the owner of the necklace is Tae-hyung, and the former mafia boss is Tae-hyung's grandfather, so the right arm and other mafia members also recognize Tae-hyung as their boss. In addition, Tae-hyung had enough talent as a mafia as he was the grandson of the former mafia boss, so he can become a boss in just 2 years. Meanwhile, the mafias are preparing for revenge against them. There's one person who's in power of the mafia. Information about this person will be released in Season 2. The fight against the mafia takes place on Sunday, when you don't have to go to school. The first attack comes from Mafia, because she knows that Tae-hyung's boss died in the last duel, and she comes to them first, saying, maybe they're in a mess right now. But there's a boss Tae-hyung who's been trained for 2 years, and he knows they'll come one day, and he's been training them, so he's beating them. The right arm almost died in this fight, but Tae-hyung saved the right arm and won a great victory. Now, peace comes to them, and Tae-hyung sits in the back seat of the boss-only car during school hours. And then you pull down the window and look back, and then there's this poster scene of the movie, and the ending comes out. And this movie continues in Season 2. Is there a special reason why you named I'm Innocent as the title of the movie? Yeah, because I wasn't going to play Mafia at first. Tae-hyung, he just wants to live as an ordinary college student in his 20s. That's why he says he's innocent. Because he didn't want to play Mafia. What made you decide to appear in this movie? When I first saw the scenario, I wanted to do this work a lot, and I was convinced that this role would suit me well, so I decided to appear. Does he have any special routine before shooting? Before shooting, I do everything that makes me feel good. To read scripts, watch movies, and become a little more emotional. And I try to walk around, not just in the car. If you look at nature a little more, you can fall deeper into your emotions. 5th, do you have your own way to deal with NGs? When there's an NG, I try to move on as naturally as possible, not as NGs. Are you good at memorizing scripts? Yes, I think I'm good at memorizing. I think memorizing the lyrics is a bit different. I can memorize the lyrics well because I memorize each syllable, but I think the script is a bit more difficult because I have to make sure that I don't get even one of the tosses wrong. You've always been with the members. Today, we're shooting V's own movie. How was it? It was my world. It was fun. It was nice to be able to do what I wanted. If you shoot another movie next time, is there a member you want to appear with? Jungkook. I thought he would look good in my movie. You said there's a boss in the second movie when you explained the movie, so I want Jungkook to appear as a new right hand after his current right arm dies. As the movie has a twist, I think he had some turning points in his life. What do you think? I like this work. As he appeared in this drama, I think my life became wider and my boundaries were more broken down. Compared to your life in the movie, where do you think you came from? When the movie starts with the distributor's video, it's like that time. It's not the beginning of the story, it's when the distributor's logo comes out. If I think of my life as a movie, I'm still young and flower-like, so I think it's around that time. What is the most important scene in this movie? In the last scene, I turn around on the sofa and look at the camera solemnly. It means that you will start playing as a mafia. Is there anyone who wants to watch this movie together? Valsajar. He's the devil in the movie Constantine. I want to see this character with him. I really like his facial expression and details. Do you have any similarities with V and the main character of this movie? He works really hard to do anything well. What if you describe yourself in one word? A log? I don't want to break it. I want to be a tree standing in a dense forest. I always want to get together with the members and with the people in the log field. I want to stretch out hard. What do you think is the best modifier for you? Cool guy. What kind of person do you want to be remembered by ARMY? Someone with courage. Lastly, please say a word to ARMY about this movie. This movie will be the turning point of my life. It hasn't been released yet, but it'll be no joke when it's really released. Please show lots of love.
A to the Z to the U to the MCD.